Before we start, hit like right now, drop your comment, and don't forget to subscribe so you never miss any exclusive moments like this. Because what you're about to see today is not normal. This is not just another airport sighting. This is something that made an entire airport lose control. Welcome back to Jikook Lover, and trust me, you're not ready for this. How can one simple outfit shut down a whole terminal? Why did hundreds of fans suddenly scream at the same time? And how did Jungkook turn an ordinary walk through Lisbon Airport into a global viral moment overnight? Stay with us, because every single eye was locked on him. Lisbon woke up quietly that morning, wrapped in soft golden light and the distant hum of early flights taking off into the sky. Inside the airport, everything felt ordinary, almost boringly routine. Rolling suitcases scraped against the floor. Boarding announcements echoed overhead. Travelers scrolled through their phones, half awake, half lost in their own worlds. Nothing suggested that within minutes, this calm, sleepy terminal would explode into chaos. Not the loud kind of chaos, the kind that starts with a whisper. A girl near the arrival gate suddenly froze, her eyes widening as if she had just seen something impossible. She grabbed her friend's arm, pointing with shaking fingers. Another person turned, then another. Heads began to lift one by one, like dominoes tipping over. At first, it was just confusion, then disbelief, and then a single name slipped into the air like a secret. Jungkook! It spread fast, too fast. Jungkook! Jungkook! It's Jungkook! Within seconds, the quiet terminal transformed. Phones shot up into the air. Cameras unlocked. Hearts started racing. People who weren't even fans found themselves turning around, curious about the sudden wave of emotion crashing through the crowd. And then he appeared. No spotlight, no stage, no backup dancers, no dramatic entrance. Just a sliding airport door opening. And him, walking out like it was the most normal thing in the world. Dressed simply, almost too simply. A relaxed hoodie falling perfectly over his shoulders. Loose pants that moved naturally with each step. Clean sneakers. A cap pulled low. A mask partially hiding his face. Nothing flashy. Nothing screaming luxury. And yet, somehow, he looked unreal. How could someone wearing the most casual airport outfit look more powerful than idols dressed for award shows? It didn't make sense. But nobody could look away. Every step he took felt slow, cinematic, like a scene straight out of a movie. His posture was calm, confident, effortless. One hand slid into his pocket while the other adjusted his bag. His hair brushed lightly across his forehead. Even the way he breathed looked gentle and composed. He wasn't trying. That was the scary part. He wasn't trying at all, and still, the entire airport belonged to him. Then the screaming started. Not one or two voices. Hundreds. High-pitched, emotional, uncontrollable screams that echoed off the walls and ceilings. Some fans covered their mouths in shock. Others were already crying. A few couldn't even hold their phones, steady enough to record. Security guards rushed in, confused, trying to control the sudden wave of bodies moving forward. But how do you control emotion like that? How do you stop hundreds of hearts from exploding at the same time? People weren't just looking at Jungkook. They were reacting to something bigger, something magnetic, something you can't fake. Because this wasn't just about clothes. It wasn't just about fashion. It wasn't even just about visuals. It was presence. That invisible aura some celebrities have, but only a rare few truly own. The kind of presence that makes a crowded place feel silent. The kind that pulls every eye toward you without you asking for attention. The kind that makes strangers whisper, "Wow, he's different." At one point, Jungkook slowed down and glanced toward the fans pressed behind the barriers. Just a small glance. Just a tiny curve of his eyes that hinted at a smile behind the mask. And that was it. People lost it. Tears. Shouting. Hands shaking. All because of one look. How is that even possible? How can one person, doing absolutely nothing extraordinary, create a moment that feels bigger than a concert? Within minutes, videos flooded social media. Clips of his walk. Slow motion edits. Close-ups of his outfit. Fans zooming into every tiny detail like detectives solving a mystery. What brand is that hoodie? Those shoes. Where can I buy them? Why does he look this good in something so basic? Search engine spiked. Fashion items started selling out. His airport look became a trend before his car even left the terminal. Local media in Portugal began asking questions. Who is this young man causing this level of hysteria? Why does his arrival feel like a national event? But Army already knew the answer. This wasn't just Jungkook showing up. This was Jungkook existing. And somehow, that alone was enough to stop time. Lisbon Airport didn't feel like an airport anymore. It felt like a stage with invisible lights. Like the world had paused just to watch him walk by. No music playing, no choreography. Yet somehow, more legendary than any performance. And now the question everyone keeps asking still hangs in the air, heavier than ever. But what happened after that moment might be even more unbelievable. Because the chaos didn't fade. It grew. Outside the terminal, cars slowed down. Taxi drivers leaned out of their windows just to see what was going on. Airport staff whispered to each other, trying to understand why a single arrival gate suddenly looked like the entrance to a sold-out concert venue. Even people who had no idea who Jungkook was started recording, sensing that something historic was unfolding right in front of them. It didn't feel like a celebrity sighting anymore. It felt like witnessing a phenomenon. Jungkook kept walking, calm as ever, protected by security, yet somehow still completely connected to the fans around him. Every few steps, he bowed slightly, a small gesture, polite, humble, almost shy, and somehow that made it worse. Because how could someone this famous still look that gentle? How could someone chased by hundreds still move like he had all the time in the world? There was no arrogance, no rush, no cold distance, just quiet warmth, the kind that makes people fall even harder. One fan reached out with a small gift bag, her hands trembling so badly she almost dropped it. For a split second, Jungkook slowed down and accepted it carefully, nodding with both hands like it meant something precious. That tiny interaction lasted maybe 2 seconds. 2 seconds. But for her, it was probably a memory for life. And for everyone watching, it was proof of something fans have always said but the world sometimes forgets. Jungkook isn't just famous. He's human. Maybe that's the real secret. Not the clothes, not the brands, not even the visuals that look unreal under any lighting. Maybe it's the sincerity. Maybe it's the way he treats every moment like it matters. Because in a world full of perfectly styled idols and calculated images, Jungkook somehow feels real. Too real. And that authenticity hits harder than any luxury outfit ever could. By the time his car finally pulled away from the airport, the crowd didn't move. People just stood there, staring, like they had just woken up from a dream they didn't want to end. Phones were still recording empty air. Hearts were still racing. Lisbon slowly returned to normal. But social media didn't. Clips of that walk kept replaying everywhere. Millions of views, thousands of comments, endless debates. Some called it the most iconic airport look of the year. Others said it proved Jungkook doesn't need a stage to dominate the world. And maybe they're right. Because not everyone can turn a random morning arrival into a global headline. Not everyone can make an airport feel like history is being written in real time. But Jungkook did, without trying, without speaking, without doing anything except being himself. So now we're left with one lingering thought that refuses to go away. If a simple hoodie, a quiet smile, and a casual walk can shake an entire city and send the internet into meltdown, then what will happen the next time Jungkook shows up somewhere unexpectedly? And tell us honestly, was this just an airport fashion moment?